Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today I am going to explain ionic bonding. There are two types of bonding, ionic bonding and covalent bonding. The most common are ionic bonding and covalent bonding and many more. But in your course, these two types of bonding are in your syllabus. So Ionic bond is formed by complete transference of electron from one atom to another, and outermost shells are involved. If an atom has one electron in outermost shell, suppose the electron is in third shell, means it has to complete its octet. So 7 electrons are required. So the other chance is better, that is, it loses that one electron, and the other atom, if it has 6 or 7 electrons, so, and this is also in third shell or second shell, so it gains that one electron and complete its octet. So this happens in ionic bond. For example, sodium and fluorine. In the picture, sodium atom and fluorine atom. Sodium has configuration 281, 2 electron in K, 8 in L, and M, 1 electron, because its atomic number is 11. While fluorine has atomic number 9, so it has 2 electron in innermost shell, that is in K shell, and 7 electrons in outermost shell, that is in KL shell. So it can gain 1 electron. Sodium has 1 extra electron in third shell because it cannot complete its octet by 8. 7 electrons are missing. So other chance, that is, it loses that 1 electron. So sodium, you can see in the picture, sodium after losing electron it become 28, not 281, because 1 is lost, so it become 28, that is octet is completed. And in fluorine you can see 2 8, before gaining it is 7 in outermost shell, 7 electron, but it gains that 1 electron from sodium, so it becomes 2 8. Sodium and fluorine atoms undergoing a redox reaction to form sodium fluoride. Sodium loses electron, becomes sodium cation, and fluorine gains electron, become anion, that is fluoride. Sodium loses its outer electron to give it a stable electron configuration. Why it loses 1 electron and why fluorine gains 1 electron? Because they both have to follow octet rule. And why octet rule? Because noble gases, respective noble gas member has 8 electron in outermost shell and they are stable. So noble gases are stable. So every element follow this the noble gas members. And this electron enters the fluorine atom exothermically, means it loses release energy. The opposite, this is called ionization energy. Sodium loses electron. The oppositely charged ion, typically a great many of them, are attracted to each other to form a solid. Sodium fluoride become solid because it has a strong electrostatic force of attraction between sodium and fluoride. Ionic bonding is a type of chemical bonding that involves electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions. I explained before, and is the primary interaction occurring in ionic bond. It is one of the main type of bonding along with the chemical bonding and metallic bonding. These are the other types of bonding. Ions are atoms or group of atoms. Ions, what are ions? Ions have positive or negative charge. They are atom or group of atoms with an electrostatic charge. Sodium positive and chloride negative are held together by electrostatic force of attraction, and that force is very strong, so ionic bonds are hard and compact. Atoms that gain electron make negatively charged ion called anions. Atoms that lose electrons make positively charged ion called cation. This transfer of electrons is known as electrovalence in contrast to the covalence. Electrovalence because electrons are involved, and valence means valence shell, outermost shell are involved. In the simplest case, the cation is a metal atom. Cation always metal atom, positive ion, because they are electropositive. So they lose electron and become positive ion. And the anion is non-metal. So we can say ionic bond is also the type of bonding in which metals and non-metals are attracted, and the bond which is formed between metals and non-metals. But these ions can be of a more complex nature. Example, molecular ions. Molecular ions are a group of atoms having charge, like ammonium ion, nitrogen 1 and hydrogen 4, and having positive ion charge, or sulfate ion. It is a combination of 1 sulfur and 4 oxygen having 2 negative charge ion. This you have studied. In the simpler word, an ionic bond results from the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal in order to obtain a full valence shell for both atoms. It is important to recognize that clean ionic bonding in which one atom or molecule completely transfer an electron to another. Ionic bond is a complete transference of electron. One atom loses electron and other atom gains electron. It is like gift. When you are giving gift, you don't have any authority after giving gift. You can't say this is mine. So the same occur in ionic bond. One loses electron, like sodium loses electron and fluorine gains electron. So one electron which is lost by sodium cannot complain, cannot say it's mine because it loses, it lost. Thus, the term ionic bonding is given when the ionic character is greater than the covalent character. Extreme left and extreme right element of periodic table form ionic bond, and this can be calculated by electronegativity difference, that is a bond in which a large electronegativity difference between the two atoms causing bonding to be more polar. Ionic. Polar means sharp positive, positive or negative poles, negative charges, like sodium has positive charge and chloride has negative charge. But polar term actually used in covalent bonding, I will explain later. To be more than in ionic covalent bonding where electrons are shared more equally. The atoms decide whether ionic bond or covalent bond is formed. This depends upon the electronegativity difference between two atoms. Where electrons are shared more equally, bonds with partially ionic and partially covalent character are called polar covalent bonds. If the difference is not too much, so they form covalent bond. If more electronegativity and negative elements is in contact, so the bond is polar, like HCl. Hydrogen has 2.1 electronegativity with negative value, and chlorine has 3.5. So it forms polar covalent bond. I will explain later, inshallah, in detail. Ionic compounds conduct electricity when molten or in solution, typically not when solid. When solid. Ionic compound in molten form or when in dissolved in water, they form ion and conduct electricity. Ionic compounds generally have a high melting point because they are in contact with electrostatic force of attraction that is very strong, so high amount of energy heat is required depending upon the charge on the ions they consist of. The higher the charges, the stronger the cohesive force. If the charges are strong, then the attraction between the ions is strong and needs high melting point. They also tend to be soluble in water. The stronger the cohesive force, the lower the solubility. If the strong force are present, then the ions are formed not easily. Ionic bond, for example, sodium 281, you can see in orange circle, top extreme, top left sodium. This becomes sodium ion by losing one electron and becomes sodium positive and has configuration 2,8. 2 electron in K shell and 8 electron in L shell. While in chlorine has atomic number 17, so 2, 8, 7. It is deficient of only one electron for completing its octet, so it gains one electron from sodium and become 288. This is stable attraction, stable configuration, and then ionic bond is formed between sodium positive and chloride negative. This is also another example, and this is 2 1. 2 1, 2 electron in K shell and 1 electron in L shell, and this is the structure of lithium. It has one extra electron, so that electron is gained by 2 7. 2 7 is fluorine. So the bond is lithium fluoride, LiF. Okay, I think it is clear to you. Okay, Allah Hafiz.